share your screen. Okay, David, I'll make you host because I don't know the share screen option is not working. Let me
Okay.
mute every. I'll mute everybody while they join. Mute participants so nobody can mute themselves. They need to use the comment section.
All right.
I'll make you. I don't know the share screen option is not working. Good evening, all, and you're welcome to Dear Analyst. Dear Analyst is a career webinar. It talks about all things data analytics, data science, big data, and machine learning. Uh, and this is episode 52. We started Dear Analyst 25th March 2020, and I'll tell you, it's been an exciting journey so far. It's been a very, very exciting journey. So we had to pause for like 2 weeks, majorly because of the NSAS protest and different issues that have been happening in the country. You get, majorly was encouraging the whole lot of us, yes, go out, go protest, lend your voice to this, speak online. If you're going to be online, speak online. If you're going to be offline, collect. If you're going to be offline, collect data, analyze data, put out something out there so at least the whole world can actually get to know. And I'll tell you, so far so good. I was reading, was it brand watch analysis on NSAS, and so far so good. They have collected 59 million tweets, while my team and I have successfully collected just 3 million tweets in 10 days. So I'll tell you, it's been a massive trend, something really, really worth talking about at the likes. So I want to say a very big welcome back. We've been away for a while, but right now we're back bigger and stronger. So before we left, we have been actually dealing on the issue of Excel. So tonight I'm having a very good friend of mine. Her name is Denima. Denima, I'm making you host, so please share your screen with us. Yes. I will stop sharing screen so you can then please share your screen with us. Dema, please share your screen with us. And you then have the meeting. I'm turning over the meeting to Dema. Dema will be teaching us Excel, different tricks in Excel. So the meeting is live on YouTube. The webinar rather is live on YouTube. When you're done with this, or when we are done with the session, you can always go to YouTube and rewatch or download it just for you. So thank you very much, Dema. Over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Deji. Okay. So this evening, welcome everyone to class. This evening, we'll be looking at conditional formatting. What is conditional formatting? Sometimes we have like a data set like we can see on our screen, and we want to format maybe a column. We'll give like conditions. We want to format, we want to, for example, let's look at column F. We want to see maybe what products in column F has the word maybe food in it. We want it to show and the like, or maybe in unit price, we want to see the top 10 products, maybe top 10 products that are the most expensive top 10 products. How do we do this at a glance? How do we do this? How do we see all of this? We could actually use sort and filter, but what sort and filter does, it hides some other data. But when we use the conditional formatting, it shows us everything. That's the data set is like we'll see the whole data set. We won't just see a part, but we'll see the whole data set. So as I said before, it's a tool that gives us the opportunity to change how the data looks. So we decide how we want our data to look. It formats the data upon certain conditions. So based on certain conditions, we will give certain conditions, and then it will format the data based on that conditions. And where do we find the conditional formatting? We go to the home tab, and in the styles group, we see conditional formatting right there. And if you click on this drop down, you see that there are different ways: highlight cells rows, top and bottom rows, the data bars, the color scales, the icon set, and so on. So we'll go each of them, we'll look at each of them and see what it means and what we can do with them. So let's say, for example, this data is a supermarket sales data. So this supermarket, it takes it sells different products, and then it has the unit price, the quantity each person buys, because it's based on invoice ID. Invoice ID is like a key here, so it gives us who what each person bought. So we are going, and this data is just looking at the quantity each person bought, the unit price of what they bought, their tax, and so on. So let's just ask ourselves some questions. Example, we look at unit price. Let's see, oh, how I want to know, like, the prices. Okay, let me give an example. I want to do a promotion. Maybe sales have been a little bit low, and I want to do a promotion. But in that promotion, I want to say, okay, only goods worth $50 and above that will have a discount. How do I know what products, what
Denima,
$50
please,
and
can you
above?
speak a little bit louder?
Okay, sorry. Okay, come, let me increase my, let me see if my volume is also loud. Okay, yeah. Can you all hear me?
Yes, it's much
Yes.
better.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I said we are asking ourselves, maybe sales have been a little bit slow, and I want to give like a discount. And so my condition for giving this discount is, oh, any product that is worth $50 and above, I'll give a discount. So looking at my data, the data is so much. I think it's up to more than 1,000, or up to 1,000 rows. So it will be so much. I can't, like, just one by one to count or to get a pen and paper. Okay, this is greater than $50. I write it down. It will take a lot of time. So I want to use conditional formatting to just highlight the cells where the unit price, that's the cost of this item, is greater than $50. So I can decide, okay, should I put a discount on this, or do I take it higher? So what do? We go to conditional formatting. First of all, you highlight the column that we want to format. In this case, the unit price. Remember, we are looking at which products worth $50 and above. So we can see if we should maybe give a discount, have discount sales to um, increase our sales. So I highlight the column that I want to format. You go to conditional formatting. Let's start with the highlight sales rules. The first one is greater than. So now, if I pick on greater than, a pop-up will come up. So it gave a value here, but I would decide. Remember, conditional formatting is setting condition. I would decide what condition I want it to format. So I want it to check any cell that is greater than 50. It should highlight it for me, so I will see. Then you can also, at this drop down, you can decide the color, what you want, you want it to highlight. Here it says light red fill with dark red text, and different format methods. We can also go to custom format. That is, I'll customize based on what I want. Maybe I want my color to be, let me say, yellow. I want it to be yellow. I could decide to put borders around each of them. That's whatever will be highlighted. There should be borders on it. I could still um okay, I could still the font. I could decide to make the font to be bold. Then I could change the font color to say red. Okay, so let's click on OK, and this is okay. So if you look at this column now, we can see that every column, every row on red shows that it's greater than 15. So at a glance, I can actually see what products is worth more than $50. So, and again, if you notice, the unit price also highlighted, but unit price is not greater than $50. So how do we do this? How do we remove this unit price? So you just select only the unit price, and you go back to conditional formatting. You go to clear rules, and then you do clear rules from selected cells, not entire sheet, because if you click on entire sheet, it will clear everything, but just the selected cells, so that the unit price goes back to being black, just black. It doesn't highlight anything. And again, this just color, just in what's the name, the values we could actually do for highlighting. Let's go back there. that's greater than, as you say, it was 50, and we did custom format, and we said the fill should be, let's use yellow. Yellow. Okay, so then we can remove the highlight on the unit price as we did before, conditional formatting, clear rules, just this selected cell, which is the unit price alone. Please, are we following? Any questions so far? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is
All right.
super clear.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Clear so far. Okay. So the same thing, if that now we just this for greater than 50. So if I look at this, if I'm the one working with this data set, I'll feel okay, the colors are too much. Like that means too many products are greater than 50. If I decide to give too many discounts, will I make profit? So I can still decide to go back. Maybe I want to change it to, let me see how much is maybe greater than $70, because I don't want to give too much. Like I don't want to make a loss. I actually want to make profit, even though I'm giving a discount. So I could decide to change it. Maybe let me look at 70, any product greater than $70. Instead of going back to highlight sales and greater than, I could just go to manage rules. And then edit rule. I'm just trying to edit what I did. So here it was greater than 50. I could decide to change it to say 70. I could actually also decide to change of greater than. I could do greater than or equal to. So there are different drop down to choose from. I could decide to say maybe the value should be equal to, it should be less than, it should be less than or equal to, depending on what I want. Let me use greater than or equal to $70. So click OK, and it highlights that. But if you notice, these ones that are greater than 50, they still stayed on red, but they are not highlighted. So it's advisable that before you do a new format, you clear the previous one. That's clear rules. So just for this column, you just go clear, because you selected it. You just only for the selected cells, and it clears. And then you could actually do the new one. Okay, let's see, $70. Or I could decide to customize it, say yellow fill. Okay, so it's yellow fill. As I said, okay. Then as I said before, the unit price is not greater than 70. So we need to remove that highlight. You just highlight only that cell, go to conditional formatting, and you clear rules just for that selected cell alone. That's for the highlight cells rule. As I said, you have less than, between, equal to, and this ones, the first four are mostly for those that have numbers, because you can't use greater than on, say, genders. It won't work. You can't use less than. But now let's look at this text that contains. Because it's a text, it shows that it has to be on a text column, a column that has text that's in the text format. So we can't use this text that contains on this unit price or in quantity. So we need to use it on the ones that have text format. Example, our product line is in text format. Our gender is in text format. So what do we do now? I could decide to highlight the products line. Maybe I want to check which of my products have the word food in it, or the word maybe home in it. Because if you just look at this, I think we could see maybe you could see health and beauty here. You could see home and lifestyle. Like it's, they can even say under health and beauty. Like, but we want to just see which of them have the word food in it. Let's just highlight all our products that have food in it. Because it's a text, we then use the text that contains. So if you click on that, it comes up the product line, but they say format cells that contain the text. So what text? We're using food. Let's see all our cells that have the word food in it, and then we can decide to go with what it has been in the already set format, or we can decide to customize our own. So let me just go with an already made format. That's the green field with that green text, and I click on OK. We'll see that every word with food will be highlighted. Food and beverages, they are all highlighted. If there are more words with food, as far as that row has the word food in it, that has the text food in it, it will be highlighted. That's where this comes in, text that contains. So it's used for columns that has text, that their format is in text, not numbers. You can't use it for numbers. You can't use I, say tax, and tell text that contains, there's no text in I. It's just numbers. So let's move on. A date occurring, when we are using a date occurring, mostly it's used for live data. What do I mean? Like I'm working maybe between today, because maybe between this month to next month. It's not, I can't do for maybe last year or 2 years ago. Let me show you what I mean. Because it's a date occurring, I have to use the dates column, which is column K. Column K is the date. So if I click on column K and I go to conditional formatting, say a date occurring, and you click on it. If you check the drop down, say format cells that contain a date occurring, what you see is just yesterday, today, tomorrow. And if you check, we're in 2020, but this date we're in 2029. So we can't actually, unless I decide to change, Excel also works with the system setting. So unless I decide to change maybe my system date to capture this date, then I can decide to do yesterday. But if I decide to change to click on yesterday, nothing will happen, because yesterday was 28th of October 2020, and this data is on 2019. As I said, that this particular one is mostly for live data, like something that you are working with it immediately. It's as you are getting the data, you are working with it immediately, not something like we just go and get the data from somewhere, that's an old data. No, something that you are working with immediately, that this date occurring, or unless maybe you change the date and the time of your system, so to accommodate the dates in your data. Then moving on, any questions so far? Am I too fast? Am I too slow?
No, this is good. Well done. Good stuff. Well done. Well done.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, so let's move on now. Duplicate values. All right, so a place where we can use duplicate values most times is maybe we want to see if a example in our prices, are there any products that have the same price, that cost the same amount? We want to just check, or something, so we can actually use duplicate. So it just shows us in that column what has been duplicated. Anything that is duplicated, it will highlight it. Anything that is duplicated, it will highlight it. Let me use, say for instance, let me use maybe the quantity. Mm, let me use the product line still. Remember, because since we want to do a new formatting, we have to undo this one. And how do we do that? Just go to conditional formatting, we go to clear rules, and we clear rules from just the selected cells. Now, the difference, why I say you don't choose clear rules from entire sheets. If you do that, it will clear everything. So let me show you. If I click on entire sheet, even the unit file goes off, and we don't want that. So bring it back. But I just want for only F. That's why I clear for just that selected cell. That's the column F, and it clears everything. Now let's look at the duplicates. We click on conditional formatting, highlight sales rules, we go to duplicate values. See, it actually highlighted everything, because health and beauty um is duplicated. This is not the only health and beauty in this column, and the like. And even here, format cells that contain unique, if you want just unique value to show us just the unique ones. See, for For the unique one, it's just the product line, which is not the case. So there's no row in column F that is unique. Every row is duplicated. Okay, every row is duplicated. Let's clear this. So every row is duplicated in column F. So duplicate is just to show maybe how many is duplicated in this column, how many is duplicated, we know that. So if you go to next to the top and bottom rows, now in the top and bottom rows, we need to be really careful when using them. Example, now for these top 10 items, we can use them for possibly unit price. We want to see the 10 most expensive products. For quantity, if you're going to use it for quantity, we are looking at the top 10 products that we are mostly bought, okay, and the like. So let's do for a sale. Let's look at which column do we look at now? Okay, let's look at the total. Let's look at the top 10 total. That's the top 10, how will I put this? The most, okay, the highest 10 values, let me put it that way. The top 10 values in the total, just the top 10 for now. Click on that, have top and bottom rows, the top 10 items. So you can see 10, you can decide to customize it. Let's see, okay, border, okay. So, okay, I'm not done. Let's get a border here. Then fill color. Let's see. Let's use maybe red to fill this. Okay. 10. Okay, so at the first glance we can't see anything, but if we go down, all right, this is just top 10. So you can see this is just the top 10 values. The top 10 values, and it's actually showing us the top 10 values. So as you finish, you will not really see it, but if you keep scrolling down, it will show you the top 10 values. The top 10 values. So we could decide to also make it the top 30 values. Okay, so remember, if the cell is still highlighted, we don't need to start going back to this and again. No, since you just want to change it, you can just go to manage rules. Here was top 10, we want to do top 30. So we just go to edit, the same thing, top 10. You can just change this to 3, top 30, and okay. Then apply and okay. In this case, it will show us the top 30. Now we see that we even have more red colors. So it's showing us the top 30. The top 30. The same thing we can also do for rating and such. But as I said before, we need to really be careful when using the top and bottom rules. When we come to the percentage, okay, when we come to the percentages, we have to be really careful. Remember, percentage is just how do we calculate percentage? We add up everything and then we pick each values and divide by the total times 100. So when we are doing for percentages, we can't do something like rating, because you can't get the top 10%. You don't really add up the ratings per se, because each product has its own rating. Or something like the time, you can't add up time to get the top 10% of time. So if you want to do the percentages, we can also do in the same total. Since we want to go to percentages, let's undo what we did here. So we clear rules just for the selected cells, and you see highlighted. We go to top and bottom rules. So once we do the top 10, what does this mean? That's the top 10 products with the highest value. Sorry, the top 10 percentage in values. So let's decide to choose. Okay, let's leave it at that. and then we click, let's make it 30%. Let's make it 30%. Okay. So I say, if you remember, when we did just the top 10, it's top 10 items. It just gave us the top 10 values. That's what does it mean? Like it just arranged them like from one to the number and just gave us the top 10, the highest 10 numbers. But when it came to the percentages, what did it do? It calculated everything. So it summed the whole column and then began to pick each of the column divided by the total times 100 and then gave us the top 30%. Don't know if you get what I'm saying. Is that understood? The difference between
Yeah,
the
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's
yes,
yeah.
the difference between the top 10 items and the top 10%. There's a difference. That's why we can't use something like rating for this top 10% because it will add up everything. And each product has its own rating. We can do the top 10 values in the rating to just know, okay, what was the highest rating for, and then what product had the highest rating. But if we do for percentage, it means that it's adding up everything, which we don't want it to add up the rating because each product has its own rating. So we need to be careful when we are using the top and bottom rules. We need to know when to apply the top 10 items and when we are going to percentages. The same is applicable for the bottom 10 and bottom 10 percentages. Also for the above average and below average. For the above average, what is average? It sums up everything and divides by the number. That's average. So we need to be careful when we are using the top and bottom rules and know what column, what type of, like we can't use this for maybe a column that has just text. No, we can't do that. So it has to be numbers. But even as it's numbers, we need to be sure of what we are doing so we don't go and look for average of rating. Okay, well, we can do, if you are doing the average of rating, that's just the average of all the ratings, but that will not really be, it's not really nice because they are different products and each product has its own rating, unless you want to pick all the health and beauty and then do its own average for the rating. But right now we have different products, so we can't apply the percentages or the averages for the rating. We can do that for the total because, of course, at the end of the day, we get our total sum. So we can actually do that for the total, the average, and then we'll know which one had the average and which one was below average and the like. So moving on, we after the top and bottom rules, we can go to the data bars. The data bars, 1 minute please. Okay. Okay. The data bars, in the data bars, what we use the data bars for is just to show like a representation. It's more like, how do I explain this? You just want to show as a glance which one is the highest, which one is the lowest, converting a value to shapes so you just know the highest or the lowest. What do I mean? For example, let's use, let's use the cost of goods sold. That's column N. Column N, we want to just see how it flows. So if we highlight column N and we go to conditional formatting, look at data bars, we can pick from any one of them. Let's use, we've used red before. Okay, let's use blue. In this case, we'll see that the higher the value, the more the um the more the bar. Example, 735 is big, but when it comes to 76.4, it's really small. So at a glance, we can actually look at, okay, which of these products actually costs us more money to purchase, just from, because cost of goods sold, that means how much we bought the goods. So from a glance, we can actually see the ones that were cheaper, the ones that were more expensive, and the like. Now also, we can decide to remove the values and just leave only the bars. How do we do that? We see highlight that cell, go to conditional formatting. In the data bars, we go to more rules, and then we check this box, show bar only. We want it to show only the bar and remove the numbers. If you click on OK, that's it. So the numbers are not there, just the bars. That doesn't mean that the numbers has disappeared. No, they're just hidden, because if you click on any of the cell, you see the value in the formula bar. So it just looks, so we can actually see it like better. We can actually see it better, and that's it. If you want to get back our numbers, just highlight it again. We go back, data bars, more rules, and make sure that this is unchecked. And then we click OK, and it's back. We can still do more on this data bars. If you go to data bars and go to more rules, we want maybe for the cost of goods, so that's how much you purchased these items. We want to check, okay, let's look at goods that we purchased between $500 to $800. Just want to check that. We can do that with in this type menu. So we can decide to check number in numbers. So what value, say maybe between 500 and the maximum to be maybe 800. So what am I checking for? Just the goods between 500 to 800. That's all. I don't want everything. So what it to do for me is, okay, that's it. So just the goods, all these ones below 500 will not be highlighted. So when you're looking at it now, you know that whatever you're seeing is between 500 to 800. 500 to 800, and that's for data bars. Now for the color scales are, it's almost like the data bars. What it does is just divides your column into different segments and highlights it. That's what it does. Let me give an example. Let me use 1 minute, please. So let me still use the column N. Let me use column N for this. Let's clear this first. All right, so if it's highlighted and we go to our color scales and just pick maybe the first one, okay? What it does now is, if you look at our colors, let me go back here. If you look at our color scales, if you look at this first one, you see that on top is like a dark green and it gets lighter down to red. What this means that those that are actually very high. So this is 1 to 4. So it will divide our column, those values, into 4 parts. So the top values will take, the top 4 values will take green. The next 4 values will take a lighter green, yellow, red, and like that. That's why if you check, 522 is a little bit light. That means it falls in the second quartile. Let me put it that way. If you look at 735, it's dark, meaning that it's top, part of the top values, and that's how it just goes. So it just divides it into 4. Remember, it divided into 4 because from here, that's it, 1, 2, 3, 4. If we go to more rules, we can decide to take it to just 2. That means we're just having the lowest value. We just divide our work into 2 equal parts and give colors. But for what has been given to us is 4 values. The same thing with the icon sets. The icon set is just like the color scales, just like the data bars. You pick, for this is like, it's going to divide it into 3. Divide into 3. If you divide the column into 4, the same thing with this, divide into 3, into 4, and the like. Let's do that with this same column. Please, you can start preparing your questions because I'm rounding up now. So you can highlight this again. We'll clear this so we can try. So we can try for the icon sets. Let's use just this 3. So what does this mean? It means that this arrow means that this value is in the middle, like in the middle value. This arrow means that it's in the bottom three. It's a part of the bottom three values. Then the green arrow shows that it's in the top three values. So it just divided this column into three parts. That's what this icon, this formatting style, that is icon set. That's what it did. If I decide to use four, it's divided into four. So we have maybe the first four, the top four, the next four, and then the next four again, and then the bottom four. So it just divides into four. This divides our column into 5 places, and that's it. Okay. Then there's just one more left. Okay. One more for conditional formatting. All right, so remember, we in this unit price, when we asked ourselves, let me look at the values greater than $70, it highlighted just the unit price. Okay, but what if and just highlighting the unit price, it means that I will need to look at pen to begin. Okay, 74 health and beauty, I write it down. So what if I wanted to highlight the whole row? It should highlight the whole row. What do I do in that case? I think our time is up. So what will
Yes,
happen is, let's keep that one for the next class. Remember, I said this is highlighting just a column. What if you wanted to highlight the whole row? That's another type of formatting, and that's what's a little bit tricky. So I think we'll keep it for the next class. So questions, please bring in your questions now. Let's discuss questions, please.
Thank you very
Questions.
much, Denima. This is the time for you to ask questions in the comment section. You have a question, you have something you want to actually ask, something is not clear, please drop it in the comment section and let's solve it for you. Please, it's time to ask questions. No questions at all? No questions? Okay. Oh, she's good. Yeah, she is.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I don't just bring anybody just to come and just say something here and there, and then it's David, I will say she's good. So I really want to say very, very big thank you today. Well, I just called that this time yesterday. We did take a class in which was like, no, me, what do I know? I say, I beg Joe. They were very, very good stuff. Very, very good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Zainab, do you want to say something? Is Zainab over or what? Because it was first Zainab Balogu there. It's over now. What happened? Zainab, you want to say something? Yes, so want to say very big thank you to everybody. We really, really appreciate you coming in. As in, it's really, really been something. 52 episodes so far, so good. And I was telling you, it has been a very, very long journey. Some persons still come and say, hey, did you yesterday do the analysis? I say, yes, like, exactly. What do you want me to do? You have another thing. You get to thank you so much. I really, really appreciate your Zainab. Let's talk more. You should be the next person of the analyst. You should be the next person of the analyst. You get. In the absence of no question, I would like to say a very big thank you to everybody for joining Mr. Lufemi, OT Junior, over Paul. Paul has like always been here back to back. For the for Aziz, thank you so much as well. To David, yes, thank you so much. Everybody who's just been really, really a part of it, most especially David as well too. I want to say a very, very big thank you. So this is, I think, the 4th Excel class of it. David Abu started Excel. Then we moved to Pelumi, then Aziz, Denima. Is this 4 or 5? Did I teach Excel too? I'm not sure I taught Excel. I think it's a fourth Excel class. This is a fourth Excel class so far so good, and I must say very, very big thank you to everybody. It's been really, really a great one. Yes, she's from CU, Eagles. Yes, okay, as you say, it's the fourth. Eagles set. So, to everybody, let's say good night. Now, we're also planning a day analyst hangout as well. So I think we might just speak in it. Denima is the one in charge. She's the chairman planning committee for the day analyst hangout. You get venue is set, everything is set. We'll just have to postpone because of the protests. Yes, a physical hangout. Yes, a physical hangout. You can all come, get to meet each other, take pictures, refreshment. Refreshment has been settled since maybe 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. All of this has just been settled. I'd say, let's look out. I want to say, actually, I'm looking out for everybody to come and see. You get somewhere in Yaba, Alagomeji, headliners at Alagomeji. You get it via the mail. So, in case if you don't get invite, please, you are not. Okay, yes, we're going to start one after the other. We start from Lagos, then from Lagos, we move to other cities as well too. Yes, and we took a poll in the Telegram community. We took a poll in the Telegram community from Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. So if we are going to be doing something majorly Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt, Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. Which one is talk to Deji? Abu and Abdulaziz, what's up? David and Abdulaziz, what's up? What is talk to Deji? He says, can I DM you? You guys are on the day analyst Telegram group now, so please. So we also drop the email, the link to register. Please ensure you register. It is your invite you'll be allowed to enter, please. And as well as they are coming, please come with your face mask as well too, and your charge phone so we take pictures. So Denima, would you please turn the meeting back to me? Make me host again, or you end the meeting. Anyone? Denima, please make me host or end the meeting.
So you said I should do what, please?
End the meeting or make me host. Any one of the two. Because I also want to end the meeting too. So.
Okay, I should end the meeting.
Yes, you see an end button, so you can go ahead and end the meeting. Good night, all.
Okay. All right, good night.